division. I love the ballpark. I like the city. I love the radio crew. Jeff Levering, we've had him on the show. Euchre still calls games. It's Middle America. We won't have to stay up too late. Bratwursts.
Beers.
Beer. You get a
what are you
mascot that slides down
the
a slide into
slide.
beer.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be a Brewers fan. Can't be a Rangers fan because that's front running. They're the world champions. I mean, I like the Rangers, but I can't do that. The Rockies, about the Rockies. I don't think they're going to be. I don't know. The Rockies just don't do it for me.
They got a cool ballpark. I do think the Milwaukee Brewers hat, their logo, it's the best logo in baseball.
The one with the glove and the ball in the middle.
I love their logo. So they got that going.
How long did it take you to realize that the glove forms an M and a B?
See, I just learned that. I thought it was a bear the entire time.
It's like the Atlanta Hawks logo. It looks like a Pac-Man eating a little nugget, but it's really a hawk. It's just whoever drew that, they
knew what
they knew exactly what they were doing. It's the same thing with the Brewers. It took me like 30 years to figure that out. Now, Bobby in Mountain Home texts one in that I think I can get with. The Baltimore Orioles. That's not front running, although they did win that division. It's a young team. It's a team that was sold from a previous ownership. Rubenstein, I think, is the name. I feel like rooting for Baltimore now. What they're dealing with. With
how do you get to work?
Right. By the way, I pulled up Google Maps yesterday just to look at what the traffic might look like in Baltimore. Nobody's getting around that city right now at all. So maybe I'll root for Baltimore.
Weird deal.
Maybe I'll be an Orioles. You got Heston Kjerstad.
There you go.
Starting in AAA, not in the big leagues yet. But Kjerstad will get up there at some point. Jackson Holiday, Bundy. Maybe that could be a team I could get with, which would be funny to think about because coming from Pittsburgh, the last two times the Pirates played in the World Series was against Baltimore. Of course, that was the 70s.
Elaine Bennis is a Baltimore Oriole fan. Take off the hat.
I might be sold again.
There we go.
She did. She wore the Orioles hat at Yankee Stadium and got kicked out for it. That was back when the O's were good, too. That was like around the time with Jeffrey Meyer stealing the home run and basically kickstarting the Yankees dynasty. That's exactly right. Yeah, the Baltimore and the ballpark is worth it too. People be like, well, why can't you be a Pirates fan? They got the best ballpark in Major League Baseball. And you're like, it's really nice that Major League Baseball allows a minor league franchise to play in that stadium. It's exactly what I think of the franchise. And there's another one who wants me to root for Baltimore. Ryan says Baltimore. Jason thinks I should root for the Expos. And the Expos are the Nationals now. At some point, Montreal will get a team back. I could root for Les Expos.
Bob Holt wouldn't like it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Braves, we got a couple people that want me to root for the Braves. And I feel like that's front running right now, too. And I don't have the hatred that I used to have for the Braves from the 90s. Francisco Cabrera. It still hurts to even just say that name. I lost my Braves hatred probably about 10, 15 years ago, but that doesn't mean I can root for them. So I'm going to have to eliminate the Braves just from previous hatred. Never had anything against the Orioles. In fact, I went to an All-Star game in Baltimore once. So maybe that's the team.
Walt Weiss, was he a shortstop for the Atlanta Braves at one time?
Oh, man.
I know he's the A's, but for some reason I see him in an Atlanta Braves uniform.
I don't know if he ever
Terry
played for the
Pendleton,
Braves.
third baseman for him. Love some Terry P.
See, you're bringing up one of those reasons that I hated the Braves. Pendleton with 91.
I think you're onto something with the Orioles, though. I mean, I could see that.
Look, that's a proud baseball franchise that just has been on incredibly hard time. I view them very much the same way I kind of view the Pirates. Just had bad ownership, bad decisions, playing in a division with teams that had a lot more money than them. And if the team wins, they're going to fill that ballpark up. I'm starting to lean towards being an Orioles fan. And I don't have to be one of those people now that says I'll only root for a National League team because pitchers hit. Pitchers don't hit anymore. 877-377-6963 to get with us here on Halftime. Text out of the 870 says Philadelphia. Sir, I'm from Pittsburgh. We don't root for anything that's from Philadelphia. That just doesn't happen. You can't do that. Yeah, and I'd forgotten James McCann plays for Baltimore. He's worth rooting for. You got a couple of Razorbacks.
He's a former team. Did he play for the Braves?
Mets and Tigers, I think, is who he played on.
Okay.
Brian McCann was with
the
Braves, a different catcher with the same last name. Reds, same division as the Pirates, and I view them sent down the same river. Can't root. See, I'm going to throw my own rules into this. You can't root. I can't root for the Reds because they're down the same river from Pittsburgh. That's my reasoning for that one.
It would have been nice if Barry Larkin Jr. would have been their shortstop when Brandon Phillips was their second baseman. That would have been a good duo right there.
It would have been a really good one. Could root for Pokey Reese. That's a guy who played for the Reds and the Pirates. Dude wore his hat a little bit askew to the side.
Yeah, he did.
And how can't you get with someone whose nickname is Pokey? Just like Nuke LaLucia's initial nickname was going to be Pokey. Hey, we're brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. At the entrance to Riley Farm, they'll provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. It's Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer. All their patients get a better life, better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. They also have same-day crowns available now. It's Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71, 226-3500, or RileyFarmDental.com. We'll wrap up hour number one of halftime in just a moment.
It's the second annual blowout sale happening now at Harry Robinson Saddle Salt Ford.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contests out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile device and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to BetOnline today and get in on all the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor A from Woodland. Read about it.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals.
There for a number of halftime shows. You've cast your votes for Best of Northwest Arkansas for many years, and All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater gets a lot of those votes. Best New Restaurant, Sports Bar Steakhouse, Best Overall Restaurant, Chicken Wings, and soon there's going to be more Best ofs announced. You can check out their event room for parties and banquets, sign up for rewards points, and follow the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater on Facebook. Let's take a couple of calls as we go to the McClarty Daniel hotline, and here is Kevin in Fort Smith who's joined us. Kevin, thanks for the phone call. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Hope you're having a good day. I have a suggestion for these end-of-game issues that have been cropping up in the NBA with fouls and not calling fouls, because I think it's going to continue to happen. And these games are obviously very important, and obviously as we get closer to the playoffs, what if you gave each team in the final minute of the game, each team has one challenge, and they can actually challenge a foul call or a non-foul call. And if they get it right, they challenge and it's overturned or called or whatever, then they get to keep their challenge for the rest of the game, because, you know, they may challenge one at 59 seconds, and then there may be another bad call or non-call later in the game. I know people are, you know, not real happy sometimes with replay because they think it takes too much time, but these calls and non-calls are so important at the end of the game, and they're magnified so much more because it is the end of the game, that maybe that would be a solution.
Matt, what do you think?
Well, you see the challenge flag in the NFL. I think you'll see with technology and wanting to get it right that it has to be looked at, because they're missing some of the call. I mean, that Purdue-Wisconsin game that I was telling you about, that was just outrageous, and they used to make up for it by saying instead of calling the foul, they would just give that team the ball, and now they're going back to it, and if the other guy didn't touch it, they're not able to make up for it. The main thing, I bet you'll have some type of challenge, but you want to get it right. That if we got the technology and you have it right there, you want to get it right.
We'll take more calls and texts as we go throughout hour number 2 of halftime. Clay Henry is hooked up. He'll be joining Matt Jones. I'm headed over to speak to the Fort Smith Razorback Club here at Hardscrabble Country Club.
Yeah.
Not used to people kind of looking at you when you're talking. This is a little different than usual. I'll be back at about 1 o'clock. So up until then, there's just 7 words you can't say on the radio. You know what to do with the rest. Ooh. Halftime will be back in just a moment. Ooh.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Lack of teamwork, failure of communication, overall disappointment. I'm not talking about your favorite basketball team's performance in March. I'm talking about your marriage. If you're getting divorced, don't listen to the myths about custody and child support. Call me, Jackie Mock, at Mock Legal Solutions to discuss your rights and options. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
0.9% financing on a new 23 or 24 GMC Sierra at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Save up to $6,500 off with factory rebates on a new GMC Sierra truck, or take $3,750 off with 0.9% financing or 2.9% financing for up to 72 months on Sierra 1500. 6.2-liter engine excluded. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see sunny skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon right around 65, mainly clear. Overnight lows in the low to mid 40s tonight. Friday, right back to sunshine. Our high in the low 70s. And Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine. Our high in the mid to upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Flashman from all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
That's able one Razorback.
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
All right. Back here on Halftime, myself, C-Unit back at the studio. Hall of Famer fisherman Clay Henry going to join us for an hour. Phil Elson's off to talk at a baseball luncheon for, I guess it's for U of A stuff, but pretty cool, pretty good turnout, Clay. Hard Scrabble Country Club here, man. It's a nice track. Good people out here. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You know, the plan was that me, you, Tommy, and maybe Todd Dunaway, we were all going to play golf after this meeting was over. So I was coming to town, and then I hurt my hand, and then there were some other things, and so it all just kind of disintegrated. But it's we always have called that group the Fort Smith Quarterback Club, but
okay,
but they've since changed it to a Razorback Club. But that was the Fort Smith Quarterback Club goes back to the 50s, And my dad was their speaker for 40-something years, I think. And then around 92 or 93, when Hogs Illustrated came into being, my dad was like, man, you're going to practice every day. You need to be doing this. So we had a changing of the guard, so to speak. And, they got the low end of the stick at that point. And it was me. And then COVID hit, and then, we didn't have any of those kind of deals. So I'm tickled to death that they are back to having that group, which I probably would know 90% of the people in that room. And you talk about, you cut them open, little piggies run out. It's a good group.
Mm-hmm. It's Razorback pride. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we got a big one. It's happening, and I was asking or talking with Phil earlier. LSU's coming into town. Both these teams are expected to go to Omaha, and this is why you come to Arkansas. I mean, just the environment, the atmosphere. I bet it's electric. They'll be able to see it. How do you see this series going?
Yeah.
And what, is there any answers still that you got? I mean, I know, Clay, you're the number one team in the country, but do you think is there any questions you still have about this team?
Yeah, so here's kind of a synopsis of what we got going here. You've got the defending national champs against the defending SEC champs. Arkansas, in Arkansas won the West. They actually won the series at Baton Rouge last year. But, LSU got hot in postseason. Arkansas, cooled off. And so they won the national championship. But these are the teams that if you start every year and say who's going to contend in the West, who's going to contend in the SEC. And, I mean, you could go back 30 years in LSU's that team. Arkansas has been that team as well in the last 10 years. And certainly the last 2 or 3 years, they've held the upper hand. As far as, the conference standings over LSU. But you got to go through, Butch Thompson, the Auburn coach, last week says, if you want to win in the SEC, you go through Arkansas. Well, that was what you said about LSU. If you're going to win in the SEC, you go through LSU. So now that's what they're playing for is to be that team. And, football rivalries, you can smack somebody, if you don't like them. But in baseball, you gotta hit and pitch. But it's for sure it's a game that both teams will be jacked up to play.
So Phil was talking a little bit about changing up the pitchers' rotation this week. Is this kind of just? Are you kind of messing with the opponent? Is it any shadow play, or what's the reason behind?
Well. So here's the interesting part is that they got a guy that they're saying is an ace, and they've decided that they don't want to burn that guy against the nation's best pitcher. So, right. I mean, it's, they call it pitching off, and teams have done it through the years. And I remember when Arkansas had Nick Smith, nobody pitched their Friday night guy. They would pitch somebody else and say, if we're in the game, middle of the game, fifth, sixth inning, and we got Nick Smith out, then we might bring in some of our ace guys. But they're gonna say we're saving our top pitcher for Saturday. Oddly, Arkansas moved Molina up a day and put Brady Tigard at the end, so that they're pitching Tigard on normal rest, and the other two guys are moving up. I think that. 5 days rest is plenty in college baseball. They usually get 6. Pro baseball, you get 4. So, this isn't like, an impossibility to pitch 1 day short, but it messes you up in the middle of the week because you change your bullpen day, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. And with this pitching staff, the depth, Phil just keeps going on about how much depth this pitching staff has, and it might be DVH's best group. Who's another guy, Clay, outside of our 3 guys that are our weekend starters right now? Is there another guy you could see that if we had to ask him to start, that he could start for us?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Will McIntyre has been a starter before. And when you put a guy, say, long relief, that's the same pitching, like can he, Will McIntyre, you got 60, 70, 80 pitches on the weekend. They've been splitting it up into 2 days. In other words, he might save a game on Thursday, but then he might come back and pitch 2 or 3 innings another day. It's kind of like in 04 when they had Jay Sawatsky, a left-hander. I don't know, that's kind of your era. You remember Jay.
Yep.
And they would pitch him twice on the weekend. They would let him save the game, maybe pitch 2 innings on Friday night, and then come back and start on Sunday. And especially if he didn't throw many pitches on Friday, that he might have 70, pitches in him for Sunday. And that was pretty much how, they pieced together that year with, maybe not the depth that this team has pitching, but when you have a guy that goes twice like that, it changes it up. But I really, really think that you've got multiple guys besides Will McIntyre that can start. Colin Fisher has started, some midweek games. And I think, you saw Ben Bobby, who they really, really thought that he would be a big piece to this pitching staff coming in this year. Had a great summer, added a pitch, really kind of fine-tuned his command of his fastball. And we saw that against UALR in the midweek this week. And I think Ben Bobby going forward, Dylan Carter, who was, really a major piece in the bullpen until he had the Tommy John surgery last May, come back a little quicker than they, 10 months is really, a quick turnaround for him. But they've got numbers, and then they've got some experience, and that you're adding in Carter and Bobby.
Hey, C Unit. I think we got a phone. We got Charlie. Charlie, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
Yes,
We're
sir.
good.
Good. Clay, you said you hurt your hand. What'd you do, man? You been too much fishing? Did you get something caught? What happened to you?
It was during a fishing trip, and I had really put on a show, caught a bunch of fish, and was walking back up the bank, and I tripped on a rock. This was out of the water. Really, you're better off if you fall in the water because you just go splash. But if you fall on the rocks, and I reached out with my left hand, and I hyperextended several fingers, they bent back, and I think one of them dislocated. I pulled it back in place. I just grabbed it. I looked down, and it was a Z, my ring finger on my left hand, and I just pulled on it, and it straightened out. And the doctor says, don't do that, by the way.
But it hurts.
Yeah.
When it's hurting like that,
you just got to do it real quick.
Grab
right.
it. I'd always heard just go ahead and grab it. Don't walk around with it in a Z. Don't walk into the ER room because it might be 3 hours before the doctor comes in and says, yeah, we can straighten that out. And he pulls on it. In the meantime, you've been hurting all that time. It was so painful that I thought I was going to throw up. And but it wouldn't. There was nothing broken. And, I think I'm back in action. I think I'm okay. That's 7 days ago.
well, you'll heal up quick. I figured I was just making sure it wasn't. I know you're a confident fisherman. I was making sure you wasn't doing too much out there. I know you're good and everything.
I probably was. I probably hiked down and went to some areas that I didn't have a good path walking back, and it was really rocky and steep.
I figured.
And
well,
it was a mistake.
Well, we all do them. We all make them. But I think with the Tiger and the Molina thing too, Clay. So when is LSU gonna throw their so-called ace out there? Which game are they going to plan on doing that?
Yeah, they're pitching him on normal rest. Now, he's their Friday night guy. They're going to pitch him on Friday night. But there isn't any question that they dodged. Hagen Smith is what they were doing.
Well, hey, I understand. I get it. I mean, and if you could just, in their case, still won today, you feel good. But I would say this. I think it is a good opportunity for Molina, and I'm not knocking Tiger. I think Tiger is super talented. The kid he's got it all, but he has had some command issues this year at times, and maybe hit a few more guys, walked a few more guys. I think too, you want to put Molina in that situation just to see how he responds. He'll be going against their ace, as you said. And, I think it's a good, they're both really good. I mean, you could go either way with those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, here's the thing. Molina was Texas Tech's Friday night guy for the last 2 years. I mean, he's pitched in the Big 12 on Friday night, and that's not a slouch. So I think he's like, give me the ball. I mean, I want it. So I don't think that's the LSU didn't catch a break. Let me just put it that way.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But, and also, you made the point about Will McIntyre a few weeks ago. I agree with you 100%. This guy could wind up being the MVP of this team. Because you just said it. He could start for a lot of teams. And the dude is just, his value, if we stay healthy in the pen, it's going to be, that's how we're going to make a run. But his value is just, I can't even put it into words. Anyways, I'll hang up with you. Y'all have a good one. Clay, get healthy, man.
Yep, I'm all right. I mean, okay. I mean, that's, hey.
He's an athlete.
Worry about the healthy. Don't worry about the ones that are beat up. They're the ones that'll get you.
It'll be all right. All right, we got another couple segments going on, and C unit. Let's go ahead and go to break whenever you're ready.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, skied in the left. That ball's hit pretty well, and it's gone. Brett Eibner's hit a home run, and the ball game's tied. Brett Eibner has hit a home run, and the ball game is tied. The Razorbacks down to their final out, and Eibner, for all his troubles this season, has just saved things.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Drive a third-row SUV that is style in motion with the 2023 Buick Enclave at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get $1,250 in total savings or 2.9% financing on a 23 Buick Enclave. The 23 Buick Enclave, designed for the road ahead and well-crafted for your refined taste. Test drive a new Buick Enclave and experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Lost my self-control. Everything I did just went gone. I love the pictures on the wall, reminding me of what I lost again. On my mind, but I made it.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back, halftime, myself, Fisherman Clay, Henry, C-Unit back in the studio. Man, got a lot of stuff going on in the sports world right now. Clay, what are they in spring ball right now? Are we about practice 8? And is there going to be a live scrimmage this Saturday? Have you seen
Saturday morning about 8:30? I'm going to come over Friday, go to baseball Friday night, see the second game of this series. I'm going to watch tonight, and I thought about going over, but when you see Hagen Smith from the center field camera, you really got a better view than anybody in the stadium. So I thought I'd watch that on TV and really get to see those pitches diving out. I like to watch that slider from center field and watch it come out of his hand. It's just a thing of beauty. Then I'll come over Friday, watch baseball, spend the night with my daughter Sarah, and then go out and watch the scrimmage. And that's I'm looking forward to that.
When I think of last year's team and the things that you want to see and you want to see improvement on the offensive side of the ball, and I was talking with Phil about it. I think our offensive line last year it was a detriment, and I don't think it will be this year. I think they're going to be much improved. I think the whole offensive unit and system that they're going to do, I think we're going to be better in the red zone, and then a third down efficiency is going to be big as well. What do you want to see out of this offensive line? Because I know you'll be watching them in the scrimmage.
Well, first of all, I want to watch those two tackles and see if they can set that edge, and that's in the run game, and then that's they take that that quick two-step drop that foot back and set that pocket for the quarterback, and just want to watch all the quarterbacks, and you're going to see. I think it'll be a lengthy scrimmage. I mean, if Bobby Petrino has any input at all on how they're setting up the scrimmage, they're going to go 180 plays, and you think, well, that's a lot for the offensive line, but that they're going to split it up. The first unit will go probably 40, 50 plays, then they'll rotate them probably 3 times, and that's a good way to see your linebackers in action. They're going to tackle the running backs. They're going to see who's their A team, so to speak, as far as running back, who can run in short yardage. I think that the last couple of years they might have got away from the scrimmaging because they just didn't think they had enough bullets. But hey, if they get some guys hurt this spring, in the portal, you go replace them. It's almost like the NFL. You can't replace them in season, but you can replace them twice during the season.
Well, you got to hit.
I mean, the off season.
Yeah, you got to hit. You got to be physical. You got to practice tackling. That's something that you have to you have to work on.
Both sides of the ball. Yeah.
No question. Game speed, it's big, and I get into with some of these quarterbacks that their senior year in high school, and then they go to college and they don't play their first year, and they might not play. It might be 3 years before they see real live action. So you got to see a little live action. No question about it.
Yeah, Matt. One of the things that you need to hit them. But the other part about it, and Petrino has alluded to this in some of his comments that I've seen in the last week, you don't know what you have at quarterback sometimes until you're live because you see if, like Lamar Jackson, until you went live, you didn't see his strength, which was being able to make somebody miss. And I think that they did a disservice whenever they put you in a scrimmage and put a green jersey on you and said you can't hit him, because they weren't hitting you anyway, Matt. That's when you show what you got.
Yeah, David Lee was old school. I know my first year when I was you're running with the 3s and the 2s, and a lot of times we would be live, and which was pretty cool. I was talking with Phil about this offensive side of the ball, and I was thinking that running back was our best position coming back, and I was going to ask you if you think running back or maybe tight end. What do you think our best offensive position is?
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think it's either running back or it's tight end, and I think that there's ability there and there's a little bit of depth. And of course, at running back, you can get them hurt pretty quick. I mean, I'll never forget 1978 watching. This was the Big 8 Skyriders tour, and the third day we rolled into Lincoln, Nebraska, and they scrimmaged. It was a Saturday, and we got to watch the scrimmage. And they had 7 tailbacks. They called them I-backs. Tom Osborne called them I-backs. They run the I formation. They called them the I-back. And they had 7, and I said, well, gosh, Coach, that's a lot. And he goes, well, we really got 12, but we got 7 that we're going to scrimmage today. And he says you can be down to your 3rd or 4th one 4 games into the season, and he says you better have 7 ready. And so I never forgot that. You can run out of depth really fast at running back. I mean, you might get a couple of them hurt this spring. You might have somebody blow out a knee in the summer just making a cut. And if you think you just got 2, well, then you're probably in trouble at running back.
Hey, I saw a couple of rules, and I agree with the NFLPA on the players union about this hip drop tackle. I think it's ridiculous. How are you going to tackle Derrick Henry if he's? I mean, I think it's been overblown. I don't think it's that. It's not malicious. It's part of it's tackle football. Do you see that coming into effect in college football?
Not sure. I think that they'll be a little slower to react to that. But Matt, explain that, because I'm not sure I totally understand it. Just what's a hip?
Well, what it
tackle?
is, it's like if I grab behind you and then I pull myself up and put my weight on you, I'm pulling you and I'm putting my weight all on one of your legs, and so you're causing that leg to really stick into the ground. And that's where the injury occurs, because all your weight, you're focusing all your weight there. But that's the whole point. I'm trying to tackle you down, and so that's, I mean, it's just it's almost a tackle from behind. It's a sideways where you're kind of going from behind. It's not really a head-on tackle. It's just
almost
I
like
think
the horse collar.
It's kind of like that, but I just think you're asking these officials, in real time. It's just going to be so tough.
I don't think they can call it.
Yeah, then you're going to be going back to the it's just I think it's just a mess. I really don't like it. Whatever. One thing I do like, and I might be in the minority, is that they're allowing the kickoff to at least be a play again, and I think it's going to be good for the game. There can be big plays in the kickoff, and I wonder if college, when they adopt that rule as well.
Well, I think that's probably coming. I mean, it's whatever they've done in the NFL will eventually trickle down. I wish that one of the things they do in the NFL that I really, really like is the 2-minute warning, and they don't have it in college. And it's funny. There's some announcers that I've seen, some color analysts that they've done NFL games and they're doing a college game and we're coming up on the 2-minute warning. Well, no, we're not. There's not a 2-minute warning in college. But it just seems like, that the best stuff in the NBA will trickle down to the college, the college basketball rules, and hopefully we got the same thing coming in. NFL will add the 2-minute warning and will continue to fine-tune the way they do the replay to make it faster.
Hey, Clay, on the defensive side of the ball, Travis Williamson's second year, what do you think we can expect as fans? I thought he was pretty good, pretty sharp last year, had some good schemes going on. Are we going to have the depth at the D-line to be able to do some things? Because he likes to bring a little pressure.
Yeah, one of the little tweaks that they're experimenting with this spring, and I think you'll see it, is that they're taking some of the defensive ends that have a little more versatility, and they're playing them in what they call the buck position, which is the outside linebacker that drops into coverage a little more. He'll step up and he'll step back. You don't know if he's coming or if he's going to put a hand down at the last minute. They'll stem and move. So it just gives them a little more versatility, and it makes it tougher on the quarterback when he's trying to read things. And they've got 2 or 3 guys that they think can play that position, and I know that's the defense that Kevin Steele ran at Auburn, then again at Alabama. That whenever I saw it, you knew they had a great player at Buck. I mean, that's probably the hardest position, that and nickel, because it requires more versatility. But I think that's one of the areas that I'm looking forward to watching on Saturday when they scrimmage, is that buck position.
Yeah, it's almost like a headhunter. It's somebody that you want an athlete there. I think of Harold Perkins at LSU would be a perfect guy. Would Tony Bua would he be okay in that, or would he be too small? Are you looking for a bigger guy?
I think there are times that, in a nickel where you definitely could play him that. And I mean, he would definitely like the freedom to blitz. I think that's
right.
Tony always says, just turn me loose. Now,
you just got to let him make plays. Yeah.
Tony played linebacker for 3 years, and then he played safety his last year. And he thought he was a safety, but in reality, he was an outside linebacker in a hybrid defense. That's really what his strength was. But he begged and begged and begged. In fact, we had a cover, and we did an interview not too long ago. It was the same story that I talked to you about. We were talking about the players that had played for Houston Nutt, and Tony reminded me that we did a cover in the summer that says, Tony's finally free. In other words, he was at free safety, but in his mind, he'd been set free. Like he's a 190-pound guy that's playing in the box. Now that's not easy, because he said there were times a 330-pound guard was pulling into the alley, and he has to take him on, and he's given up, 200 plus. You better be rugged. I mean, he could do it, but that's what we're talking about is a guy that can. You have versatility in the defense when you've got a guy that can play multiple spots, and no matter how the offense decides to play you, 2 tight ends, an extra H-back, that you got a guy that can play both ways.
Well, Tony Bua should be in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. He has my vote.
Preach it, brother.
He's underrated. I mean, he's just a heck of a football player. He was a great teammate too. All right, C Unit. Let's do this thing where we go to the break, and we'll come back right after this.
You can now download our new app.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contests out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile device and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to BetOnline today and get in on all the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor A from Woodland. Read about it.
This video.
Words disappear. Words once so clear. Only echoes passing through the night. Lines on my face. Your fingers once trace. Fading reflection of what was. Thoughts rearrange, familiar now strange. All my schemes drifting on the wind.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right. Beautiful Thursday here, back here on Halftime. The Hall of Famer Fisherman Clay Henry joining us. C Unit back in the studio. Good music right there. C Music. Phil Elson talking to the old Fort Smith Quarterback Club. A little baseball talk. A lot of baseball hype, and they're living up to it. This is going to be a good series, Clay. A good litmus test. If do you think there's any chance the Hogs could sweep LSU, or am I just kind of getting ahead of myself?
Oh, I mean, you're playing at Baum Walker, yeah. I mean, they've swept a lot of series over the last few years, and that's how you win a championship is you take care of business at home. The thing to watch for this weekend is who has figured out the strike zone, and I'm talking about pitchers and hitters. Arkansas it's been a feast on free passes this year. I think it's 126 walks, and their pitching has given up like 69. And that's the kind of ratio that wins games. When you don't have to hit at 300 if your on-base percentage is way over 400. And at top of that lineup, it's 450, 440, 420, 430. I'm just looking down the numbers, and that's tough on a pitcher is when there's always guys on base. They would like to have more big hits with runners in scoring position, but they do, let's say, put the ducks on the pond. And, that's the same thing goes. I mean, LSU is going to be trying to work the count on Hagan tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But I think the figuring out the strike zone and not going out of the strike zone for hitters is probably the key thing to watch in this first game.
Hey Clay, my pops is he's a Redbirds fan. He kind of keeps up with the Cardinals. Do you have Major League Baseball starting today? I guess you had opening day over there in Asia, but they're coming back to the States. Do you have a favorite MLB team?
Well, I just kind of watch where the Razorbacks are scattered around, and the cool thing is there's a lot more of them on Major League Baseball rosters than there has been in the past. I'm interested to see how Isaiah Campbell does with the Red Sox, and so I'll be watching the Red Sox a little bit. You've got 2 of the 3 outfield spots with the White Sox. Andrew Benintendi and Dominic Fletcher both with the White Sox, and they could be out there together. There's you got James McCann with the Orioles, and I mean it's trying to remember if Stanek got moved in the offseason. He's been with the Astros, but he might have got moved. I'm not looking at all of that right now. But it's wherever the Razorbacks are is kind of how I follow it. There was a time a long bit ago when you had the Superstation. I watched the Braves a lot and got to be a fan of them especially when they had Dale Murphy. I mean, we're going way back.
Yeah.
They were actually in the NL West at that particular time, and so I watched a lot of Braves. And then as a kid, I was a Cardinal fan because every night, you'd be sent to bed, and the one little caveat that I was like, Dad, can I at least take the radio up there, and you dial in KMOX and listen to the Cardinals with Harry Carey. So I was big Cardinal fan at that time, but it was just it's whatever I can follow,
right?
And I really liked the Braves, and baseball in our household back in those days when I had 2 girls running around the house in diapers, and it's like nobody wanted to watch baseball. But what would happen with the Braves on the Superstation is they're playing all those late night games on the West Coast, and so everybody's gone to bed about 9:30 or 10, and the Braves are just coming on, that late time slot when they, like I say, when they were in the NL West. And so I'd watch the Braves play, at San Francisco and at San Diego and against the Dodgers. So I got to be a Braves fan during that time. But I'm not following the standings like, say, Chuck Barrett follows the Cardinals.
Yeah, when I was growing up, the WGN, so you get White Sox and Cubs games. My grandpa took me to my first baseball game in St. Louis in the Old Busch Stadium. They had the Cubs, and I got to see Ozzie Smith do the flip seventh inning. Vince Coleman stole home. It was, bought a pack of Upper Deck Chicago Cubs cards with Mark Grace and Andre Dawson. It was a fun trip, and he was always a Stan Musial fan. I never saw him play, but he said he's one of the best hitters to ever play the game.
So Dudley just texted me, and Stanek signed with Seattle, and I had the feeling that he wasn't with the Astros anymore. So we'll be watching Stanek in some of those late night games on the West Coast.
Well, what I'll be watching tonight is a little college basketball, and as the tournament gets back underway, which it's one of the best tournaments in American sports, and it tips off with Clemson. Arizona is going to start I guess it's a quad hitter, and what was that called? A gullet in soccer when you get five. I know we did
five
that.
It was a glut.
A glut. There you go. I didn't know if it was 4 or not, but yeah. So you get some good games. I didn't know that Alabama North Carolina. I think that's going to be as good as it gets. I haven't really seen Illinois or Iowa State play this year. I like Arizona.
You're going to love Iowa State.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to watching most of these games. I've been pretty. It's been pretty chalky. Clay, do you think is there?
How's your bracket?
Well, I got lucky this year. I have 12 of 16 after opening weekend. I got all my Elite Eights. So that's about as best as I've done in a
and
while.
You can rack up the points going forward then.
Well, I got North Carolina winning it all. I got UConn, North Carolina, Houston, and Tennessee in my Final Four. And after watching Marquette play, Clay, that little guard Tyler they have, the left-handed dude, oh my goodness, man! I think it could be a rematch of the Big East title game where it could be UConn versus Marquette.
So when I did my bracket, I just kept saying Big East, Big East, Big East. And I've got Creighton winning it all, but I've got Marquette and UConn both going real deep. So if that pans out, my bracket will do real. I don't think anybody in the now I don't know why, but the guys at ESPN Arkansas, they didn't ask me to do a bracket this year, so I just did one for our family. But it's I'm the only one out of 9 in our family group
Hogs, Clay,
that has Creighton.
Creighton. So I watched them play in the tournament. They got a big. That's going to be tomorrow night. That nightcap. And Purdue's going to get beat.
He's due too.
Yeah. I don't really Purdue. I don't have a lot of faith. I like Zach Edey, but I don't know that they're guards. I mean, they shoot the ball well, but man, you just got to put some pressure on them. But that Creighton Tennessee game, that's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, I think. I mean. I don't know that Creighton shot it very well in the last game, but they can get their shots. Now their shots, they're gonna shoot 33s. I mean they're gonna put it up, but then they've got a couple of guys that can go get it. Offensive boards. But it's I like Tennessee. I think they're built for the tournament. I think they can play some rugged defense, and I think there's times where it looks like they're calling fewer fouls. And I think that serves Tennessee well. Yeah. And they'll bang you. I mean, it's they're going to put a hip on you just like Houston does. There's not, Houston. I don't think they're all that this year. I mean, maybe they're beat up and that they had too many injuries. They don't look like they have the depth to play the Saturday Monday swing. That's what gets you. When you're in the Final Four, is that you just don't have any. You better have 8 or 9 guys.
I think of that Wisconsin Duke game years ago when Wisconsin just left it when they had Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker. You're like, there's no way they're going to win the next game. They just left it all out there. They didn't have the depth.
It's too much to ask. Yeah,
that's right. All right, C Unit back there in the studio. They're finishing up. They just called the Hogs. Phil's getting rave reviews. So it looks like it's I can always get invited someplace once. It's just I don't get invited back too often. So maybe they'll invite us back.
Matt, that crew is pretty much that's like preaching to the choir. I mean,
that's right. That's right.
You just tell them that they're going to win them all, and they're fired up. that this is a College World Series team. Tell them what they want to hear. That's what my dad always said. I asked my dad one time to do a prediction column for Hogs Illustrated. He had him going 12-0.
I like it. All right, C Unit, let's do it. And we'll be back right after this.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Do you need an oil change but don't have time to drop off your car? S&J Express Lube will let you sit in your car while they do the work, and it only takes about 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Prices start at $35.99 for a 20-point inspection service. S&J Express Lube is open Monday through Friday 9 till 6 and Saturdays 8 till noon. You'll find them at 14818 Highway 71 South in Jenny Lind. Check them out on Facebook too. S&J Express Lube, your authorized Castrol dealer in Sebastian County. They are waiting on you now.
This year, upgrade your home to safe, convenient, and energy-efficient natural gas from Arkansas-Oklahoma Gas. Skip the prepayments and delivery issues, and enjoy the peace of mind knowing that your natural gas is always there when you need it. And we can help make converting your home easy and affordable too. For heating, hot water, cooking, and more, it's time to upgrade to safe, reliable, and energy-efficient natural gas. Visit AOGC.com to learn more. AOG, Energy for Life.
Hey River Valley, this is Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Y'all have eclipsed our expectations in supporting our law firm, and we are grateful. You blindly put your trust in us, and we are over the moon to announce our grand reopening. On March 29th from 2 to 6, drop by our office at 3401 South 79th Street. Meet Ruskin and Zach, grab a pair of free Eclipse glasses, and check out our expanded space and practice areas. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Like an eclipse. Need new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Supply issues are no issue at Shamrock Roofing and Construction. As one of America's largest roofing companies, we stocked up early and we stocked up big. We can do your job right now. And because we paid less for our material, we can share those savings with you. Call today or visit us at shamrockroofer.com.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
At A&P Auto Sales, we take pride in the way we do business. We focus 100% on our customers and believe car buying should be a fun, hassle-free experience. We will work with your budget and offer a dependable car at a price you can afford. Bank financing is available with approved credit, or cash is always accepted. Hop on over to 1202 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren and choose from a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Contact us today at 353-1246 or check us out online at apautosales.net. Find your next car at A&P Auto Sales in Van Buren.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Oh, Dad, what you know about jelly? Are we talking toast and melons? Or Benji Nights Ellis? Oh, jelly, between the stars and Machiavelli. And if you wanna get creative, we could always look to nature go fishing. Never seen them swimming. Yeah, that's so hypnotician.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right. Yes, sir. Back halftime. They just filing out of the Fort Smith Razorback QB Club, whatever they're calling it. Great group of people, man. It was cool. Got to see some familiar faces, and everybody. They called the Hogs, and they're just. I think Phil's going to get invited back. I think he crushed it.
It's like you knew it. You knew he would. He was like I said, he's preaching to the choir.
Never a doubt. Yeah, so it's myself, C Unit back in the studio, Fisherman Clay Henry in this quick segment here before we get back for another hour. Clay, did you see any of this with the disgruntled player they call Draymond Green? Like it seems like it might be getting a little out of control. I was trying to think, Ron Artest, Dennis Rodman, you're going down, and is it the athlete, the fact that he's kind of towards the end of his career, you think? Or what do you think this his legacy, because I think he was a borderline Hall of Famer in what he did with that group. But I don't think so anymore. I think he's kind of the other way.
He's defamed as legend.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's, and he was a special player. I mean, he was.
He was that point forward, kind of that Euro big,
question.
could play defense, and he was
some
super
range
smart.
On his shot.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was a guy that if you needed an enforcer, he could do that, but he took it too far. I mean, it's like it's like what are you trying to do? I mean, it's like, and he's running up the floor after every play, begging with the referee, like, you're not calling it right.
Let's play the
game. You're not seeing that. Yeah, just play the game. You're winning. And so many times I saw him disrupt the flow of his teammates, and they knew it. That you'd see him go talk to him, and it was like, man, I'm too smart. I know it better than you. Well, you don't know it better than Steph Curry. Listen to the man. And Steph Curry's got him all on his hip. Just leave him alone. But he couldn't do that.
Yeah, I think back to that finals when he got suspended. I believe it might have been Game 4, Game 5, around there where he got in trouble.
Hurt his team.
The game. Hurt the team. That's the one where Cleveland, LeBron brought the championship home. That's right. I think it, man. I think it's Denver, Boston right now are the two best teams. The Clippers are okay. The Bucks are okay as far as I think teams that could be there at the end. I think the Celtics and what Jason Tatum. I mean, he's a league MVP. Not that he'll win it, but he's that quality of a player.
Well, I mean, they're winning some games.
Yeah, no, I got Boston and Denver in the final. That's my way to. I guess there's 10 games left before the play-in tournament.
Means they can beat you by 50 on any given night. I mean, it's like they shoot it so well. I mean, they've got 4 guys that when they put it up, it might go in and the net doesn't even move. I mean, that's how pure they are.
Yeah, no, they're tough. And then we talked about this earlier, pulling for Arkansas guys. Always pulling for Bobby Portis and what he's doing out there in Milwaukee. I was a fan of them getting Dame Lillard, but I wasn't a fan of them losing Drew Holiday. But man, Bobby Portis has been doing his thing. I think Milwaukee, they could be tough, could be a tough out, but I still got Boston. All right, we got one more hour to go in this awesome Thursday. Here at the Hard Scrabble Golf and Country Club Resort. And we'll be back after this. All right.
The second annual blowout sale going on now at Harry Robinson Saddlesall Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Saddlesall. Every car in the lot, new or used, has a discount. Hang tags on every vehicle. Test drive any of them and you're entered to win a pair of jet skis from Harry Robinson Saddlesall Ford. Let's talk about new Fords. The 23s, you got to move them out. Ford F-150s, you got big discounts there.
Yes, we definitely do, Tommy. You know, right now, all remaining 23 F-150s, you get $5,000 off and you get 72 months at 1.9% financing. Right now really is the time to come buy a new 23 F-150.
And, 0% financing available right now on many of the Ford models you got on the lot. And this is cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, everything you've got.
Yes. I mean, guys, we've got 0% financing for 72 months on the Mach-E's. They've come up with about $20,000 off in savings. So right now really is the time to buy. Get down here to Harry Robinson Saddlesall Ford.
1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Saddlesall. Online at harryrobinson.com.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we have the biggest and best selection of premium pre-owned vehicles we've had in years. Many with low miles and those special features you're looking for, and each one road ready certified with warranty. Be sure to ask about the weekly specials that can save you up to $4,000. Road ready certified used cars and savings up to $4,000. 2 more reasons all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see sunny skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon right around 65, mainly clear. Overnight lows in the low to mid 40s tonight. Friday, right back to sunshine. Our high in the low 70s. And Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine. Our high in the mid to upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
But they but one Razorback.
Second half, very happy.
And vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's go to the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
All right, into the third hour of halftime now. I've made it back. They let me out of the Fort Smith Razorback Club. Well, we did the thing. Everybody got up and left, and then I guess I come here and sit next to you again, Matt Jones.
I heard you calling the Hogs. Everybody had a smile on their face. You must have crushed it, man. That was cool.
It was a good time. It was. It's funny, like you do radio, and sometimes a 15-minute segment can feel like it's 30 minutes. Well, then you go do 30 minutes with people standing up there looking at you, and it felt like 15 minutes. It's just funny the way the math works out.
Yeah, the one giving the eulogy is usually a little more nervous. Yeah.
Well, we got another hour left at halftime here, and Brett Dolan will come up in about 15 minutes. We'll dig a little more into this Arkansas LSU baseball series that'll start up this weekend, tonight, of course. A lot of Thursday series, too. We played Thursday series last week, this week, next week. That's 3 in a row. I miss the Sunday games. I miss the Sunday games. And we were talking about this with Chuck off the air. That was a couple days ago. I think people, you kind of expect that when you're driving around during the college baseball season that you got a baseball game to listen to. But people instead were tuning in to our stations, and they were hearing basketball.
Well, you might be cleaning the house, you might be doing yard work. You're able to listen to the game. Absolutely. So when did they stop playing Sunday games?
They still play them. It's just that now
Not
because
the
there's a television package. There's always going to be at least two Thursday games, and those are nationally televised. I don't know this for sure, but I think that tonight's game, which is on ESPN2, is the first college baseball game to be aired on one of the two main ESPN
Top 10 matchup,
networks.
right? What's LSU? Are they 6 in the
number
country?
8. I think they're number 8. Of course, Arkansas is number 1. So, yeah, the other game, I don't remember the other game that's being played later today, but I can check on that in a moment. That's going to be on SEC Network. So, I mean, they try to get this thing, they really do try to make sure that these games get aired. Yeah, Carolina and Alabama also on the SEC Network. This is also a weekend where maybe you're just trying to avoid playing on Easter.
Yeah, I mean, in the March Madness, you got the tournament going on, but yeah, I'd get not playing on Easter Sunday. There's a lot, man. This is a good time for sport. You got the Masters coming up, you got the NBA playoffs coming up. Baseball team's hot. March Madness is finishing up, man. It's a good time to be a sports fan.
Yeah, this is when optimism still rings true for every baseball fan. Now that I guess there's a couple teams that played 2 games in Korea, but everybody's going to feel at least a little bit sunny about the start of the season. And then it's like you think,
oh, yeah, opening day.
Well, some teams just some fans, when you get it 3 months into the season, just like, all right, who are we trading away now? Then it's just a matter of, who's off your roster instead of the happiness and the optimism of the start of the baseball season.
Now, there were 5 teams in college basketball that were ranked number 1 at some point during the college basketball
season.
It
felt like there were more this year, really.
There was, I think Arizona, North Carolina, UConn, obviously, Purdue had a night, Houston. So that there's your 5. Who out of baseball? That's what I was going to ask, because Bob said something interesting that he didn't know if Arkansas would stay number 1 for the whole season. Who else could you see having that number 1 out beside their name if it's not the Hogs?
Well, I guess Oregon State.
Are they 2 right now?
I think they're number 2 in most of the polls. Outside of that, you would look, I think, at SEC teams. Wake Forest has fallen off. They've lost a couple series in a row, so I wouldn't put them at that category. Won't be LSU. I mean, Kentucky's the only other team in the SEC that's 5-1 in the league, like Arkansas is. But before the SEC season started, Kentucky lost 2 out of 3 at home to Kennesaw State, so they're not going to be number 1 with a series loss at home to Kennesaw State. So right now, I don't know. I mean, it's, you lose 2 out of 3 this weekend, maybe something happens. But, I don't think they're really worried about the number 1 aspect of this either. A&M is a team to watch for. Yeah, they're number 4. They've got a pretty crazy pitching staff. And I don't know if I'd look at, maybe Tennessee. Tennessee's got one of those teams that's just slugging the heck out of the ball every chance they get. I don't know if I'd look at Vanderbilt right now because they lost a series, but I think Arkansas, they're a consensus number 1 for a reason. I think they're the only team that's won every single series that they've played up until now. So I don't know about Oregon State, but then Arkansas beat Oregon State in the one game that they played against them. Jason in Frankfurt thinks Clemson will spend a little time at number 1. And Matt texted in, he says there's a lot of tailgating in Lot 99 right now.
I bet the atmosphere is going to be electric, right? Like, will this be the will it be a sellout? Is it already sold out?
I'm sure it already is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those weekends. It's like if you ever
beautiful weather.
Well, if you play Tennessee if you're playing Ole Miss or you're playing LSU at Baum Walker, those are the opponents I think that get circled. You know, and there are some games where the tickets are sold, but people don't use the tickets. It happened a lot more last year than ever before. Anybody that's got a ticket for this series, they're making sure that ticket gets used, because this is like, I feel like Baum Walker was built in a sense to try to answer the bigness of Alex Box Stadium. It was years ago that it was built, of course, in '96, but I mean, you're at the point where Alex Box, I think, is kind of third in the pecking as far as the best ballpark in college, and they're all in the SEC, I think. I would say, look, I think Dudy Noble Field, the way that they built that's an amazing college baseball park. Baum Walker and then Alex Box. But, you know, they get crazy atmospheres at Alex Box. You rival that now at Razorback games. Like, I do feel there is a reason. The ESPN2 chose this game before the season even started. Now, they knew Arkansas would be good, but they didn't know they'd be number one. So this isn't a matter of, well, we're putting number one on TV. ESPN2 chose this game. Now, keep in mind, it's going up against the Sweet 16. The ratings for the Sweet 16 will dwarf this college baseball game for obvious reasons. But there are baseball fans, even on a night where there's major league games, they're going to want as much baseball as they can watch. They're going to put that game on. And the difference in the atmosphere between Baum Walker and, say, you know, Yankee Stadium, it's noticeable. I think that they chose this game and this ballpark because of the idea that it's going to be that atmosphere. And you have those flags waving all over the place. The giveaway is a pennant flag, one of the traditional Razorback flags that get waved all throughout the game and whenever they score and whenever they hit a home run. So, you know, I mean, the teams that are playing, that's a reason why this game is aired. But on the other hand, I feel like Arkansas baseball fans are a main reason why this game was chosen for ESPN2. Because you've put together an atmosphere that is unique, that also is not contrived. It's kind of grassroots. You know, the bases loaded beer hats thing, that didn't come from the promotion department. That didn't come from the marketing department. That came from fans that just put weird hats on their heads. All this stuff with the fans waving flags all over the place, that's an organic thing. That's grassroots. You know, the fans that get Bobby Warner's to do the Bobby Chicken dance before the sixth inning starts. You know, it's like every section has their own little thing that they do, and that's one of the things that I just love about baseball games at Baum Walker Stadium. I think you, listeners, fans that are there, you're a reason why this game's on TV.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Arkansas fans are some of the best in the country, and it kind of makes me think of that Arkansas-Kentucky game in Bud Walton this year. Just the hype that game day. If there was a game day, this would be one of the ones. A baseball game day.
There is no college baseball game day, but I'll tell you what, they would do at least one a year at Baum Walker. At least one a year at Baum Walker. We get great atmospheres for basketball. Look, I mean, I think the basketball atmosphere at Bud Walton is second to none. When you get that place sold out and people are feeling good about the team, and you get a good game, there's nothing like Bud Walton. I feel the same way about Baum Walker. Like, I've been to Alex Box for a sellout. It's great. It's crazy. I've been to Swayze Field with Ole Miss for a sellout. Dudy Noble Field, the same thing. There is no better atmosphere in college baseball than Baum Walker.
Well, I used to think that out of the three major teams, basketball, baseball, and football, Phil, I used to think that Bud Walton was the best home court advantage, but it might be Baum Walker now, as far as just having that advantage of winning your home games. Kind of had a little letdown this year on the basketball squad, lost some home games that we shouldn't have in a bad fashion. But yeah, that Bud Walton atmosphere for the basketball team can be great as at home.
Well, and they're 16-1 at home, so the record reflects
That's what I mean, right? Yeah.
The record reflects that. Breaking in a moment, we'll be talking with Brett Dolan. Want to tell you about a new fly tying shop inside the store at the Tackle Box in Fort Smith. It's where you get all your hunting and fishing supplies. They have a new fly tying shop inside the store with everything you need for fly fishing, including materials to tie your own flies. That includes jig tying supplies for crappie fishing. It's the largest selection in Fort Smith and the only place that you find the new Edge rods by Gary Loomis. All-American made graphite carbon fiber rods. Edge, the best rod maker in the world. Find them at the Tackle Box. They have a brand new website. It's tackleboxoutdoors.com. Tackle Box is on 0 Street in Fort Smith or tackleboxoutdoors.com. We're talking with Brett Dolan on Halftime in just a moment.
I love baseball season. It's the best time of the year. Every Friday, we get to talk shop with one of my favorite former pitchers, James Teague.
12:15 on Friday is my favorite time of the week. I love joining you guys on Halftime to talk about the baseball team and Teague Law Firm. You know what we always say, if we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
Don't miss James Teague with the Teague Law Firm every Friday right here at 12:15 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The 1-2. He struck him out swinging. 0.9% financing on a new 23 or 24 GMC Sierra at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Save up to $6,500 off with factory rebates on a new GMC Sierra truck, or take $3,750 off with 0.9% financing or 2.9% financing for up to 72 months on Sierra 1500. 6.2-liter engine excluded. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Do you need an oil change but don't have time to drop off your car? S&J Express Lube will let you sit in your car while they do the work, and it only takes about 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Prices start at $35.99 for a 20-point inspection service. S&J Express Lube is open Monday through Friday 9 till 6 and Saturdays 8 till noon. You'll find them at 14818 Highway 71 South in Jenny Lind. Check them out on Facebook too. S&J Express Lube, your authorized Castrol dealer in Sebastian County. They are waiting on you now.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. That small roofing company my father started 45 years ago has now become one of the largest roofing companies in America by following one rule, the golden rule. No one can install a better roof at a better price, a better warranty than Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Let our local family serve your family. Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Call today or visit us online at shamrockroofer.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
dead or asleep. Talking heads on the screen keeps you stuck in the stream where the rat race is rigged and the president's picked by the Vegas you fled. All the money you spent in I said, cool it, baby. Cool it, baby. I said, cool it, baby. Cool it, baby.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Don't forget, Matt Jones and I are going to be at separate locations for the Party Place on Eclipse Day, April the 8th. Matt will be at the Fort Smith location behind Ashley Furniture on Rogers Avenue. I will be in the Path of Totality in Conway at the Oak Street location. Party Place is the place where you can also get your sunglasses for the eclipse, any kind of party decorations for any holiday, and theater makeup, costumes, electronics, wristbands, and ticket rolls. Perfect things for birthdays, baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, and much more. That's the Party Place, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith behind Ashley Furniture, and in Conway on Oak Street. Brett Dolan joins us on the McClarty Daniel hotline. Brett, do you know what you're doing on Eclipse Day? I never know where you're located, so where are you going to be?
Well, here's the thing. I think I'm flying, but I'm doing so early in the morning, and I'm going to a place that doesn't have good viewing. So I think we're doing something as an athletic department up on top of the football deck outside of the Broyles Center. So I may have to reconsider my plans and take it in where it's going to be in its path here in Northwest Arkansas. But I haven't quite gotten there yet.
So it sounds like you're at a baseball field or a softball field of some sort. Where are you, and who are you watching?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas, a D3 doubleheader today. It must sound like I'm on a ship because all of a sudden the wind's picked up as I try and step away. So, we don't have the first two games of this LSU series on TV. The big network boys do, and we'll come back on Saturday. So I thought I'd take advantage of a little off time from baseball to see more baseball.
That's how it works. What'd you think of LSU moving Luke Holman to Friday?
I guess it doesn't stun me the more I think about it, only because we see these maneuverings around these Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. And quite frankly, I wish we'd stop doing that, but I get it for Easter. Yeah. But, Phil, I interviewed Holman about 2 weeks ago in a Perfect Game show. So we spent about, almost 20 minutes with him. And kind of a mild-mannered guy, and I tried to pick his brain as best I could. To me, he reminded me a little bit of Hagan as far as just a quiet, unassuming guy, but obviously had great numbers. I wanted to see those two go head-to-head, but I get it. And, if Arkansas can win Game 1, I'm sure they hope that Holman can win Game 2 and then throw it into a Saturday winner-take-all series type game.
Hey, Brett, wanted to talk a little bit about the March Madness. Got the tournament going on tonight. I don't know how your bracket's doing. I got a little lucky this year. I haven't seen Clemson play this year. They start against Arizona tonight. Who do you like in that one?
I took Arizona with you last week, and I'm not going to deviate from that, in part because, Matt, I feel like I know nothing about Clemson. There's a couple of teams I really don't know much of anything about, and Clemson's probably at the top of the list. Arizona's a funny team because they'll turn in a clunker every 7 or 8 games, but I feel like they have a pretty good path to get to the Final Four, get back to their state in Arizona if they can take down Clemson. So I'll stay with Arizona, but I'm kind of picking a little bit blind because there's a handful of teams, and Clemson's one of them where I just feel like I haven't seen much of, and maybe that's because of the teams that we did see a lot of in the SEC. For the most part, they were out early, and some of the ACC teams and those scattered around the country just keep playing.
Was that Jason Terry and Mike Bibby, Lute Olson, Darvin Ham? Was that the last time that Arizona won the national championship? I think, Brett, it was out there. It was out west, maybe in Salt Lake City. But it was out west the last time Arizona won it. What was that, 98? But that was a good squad.
It might have been Indianapolis, but I think Terry was part of that. Miles Simon might have been part of that team, and certainly Lute Olson's had some great, clubs. And I grew up watching Lute when I was in Iowa when I was a kid. And then when I moved to Tucson, I covered the Wildcats for 6 years. And that was kind of towards the end of his his career, and he had a couple of runs. He had one to the championship game in Minneapolis where they came up second to Duke. But good program. They just haven't quite found the success in the last 5 or 6 years. So this is a big game for them. I mean, to be relevant, to be one of the last remaining Pac-12 teams before they switch to kind of have a chance to get to the Final Four, I'm sure they'd love to find a way to figure this out.
Pastner was on that team too. Josh Pastner.
First time I
didn't play, but he was on the.
Yeah, he sat there on the team there. That was 1997. That's right. Yeah. Hey, Big 12. Big 12 is going to be. I mean, this is going to be a really good. It already is a good basketball league. You add Arizona to that. Man, it's getting a little tougher over in that league. Are you watching? What is it? Who does Iowa have in the women's tournament tomorrow?
Colorado, and I was concerned they were going to get Kansas State. Then again, Colorado took down Kansas State. So they're trying to limp towards the Final Four. They just haven't shot the ball well as of late. But, of course, if they do beat Colorado, then they more than likely get LSU and Kim Mulkey. And quite honestly, as I get older, I'm not sure my heart can handle that. I'm not sure I can handle another Kim Mulkey Iowa game. But we might get one in a few days if chalk holds out.
You see, Ice Cube did Caitlin Clark a $5 million deal, and I'm not denying her talent, but it was like I think 8 games is what she is what he wanted. Who would she be able to guard though? I mean, the big three. It's such a physical. You know, it's older athletes that have lost a step, so they bang on you. I mean, that's just what it is. It's such a physical brand of half court basketball. I think it would be cool. I just don't know if it would work.
I don't know if it would work either. I mean, for 8 games and maybe 2 playoff games, I might, for the dollar allocation, figure out a way. You know, I'm guessing they're banking on her not only bringing the TV ratings and revenue, but just the ability to step back and throw up 25-foot shots where maybe the old guys don't want to defend her that far from the rim. But I did see today she's on a 14-person list for the Olympic team. So I don't think she's going to take any chances on messing up that possibility, even for $5 million, because she's not exactly hurting for money right now. But I don't think that's the end of some of these offers that we might see for her, just because she's become kind of a transcendent star when the men's game just doesn't have enough. And Matt, sometimes you ask me really good questions, and I think about better answers 6 hours after you ask them to me. And, you know, last week you were asking me about, you know, who in the men's game would I like to see? And I couldn't come up with many, because we think of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on the women's game. And I will throw a Jamal Shedd of Houston out there late after the fact, but just because he's been a fun player to watch on the men's side. But we spend a lot of time talking about the women's game because we recognize their stars. We've seen them play for a long time and may continue to see them play in different venues.
Brad, I'm looking for a Major League Baseball team to root for. I'd root for the Pirates, but they're not a Major League Baseball team. Maybe the White Sox. Benintendi's leading off in left field today, but Dominic Fletcher, although he's on the big league roster, he's not on the starting lineup today. Could go with the White Sox. I don't know if they're going to be any good this year. You know, I don't know if you root for anybody right now, but you know, direct me somewhere, please.
Well, you know, I think Kansas City will be fun to watch here in the next year or so. The funny part was, Phil, the other day when I went to the exhibition game in Springdale where the Royals came to town, Bobby Witt, MJ Melendez, Vinny Pasquantino, good players. The largest ovation of the night still went to Caden Wallace, which I found funny. And Caden's a little bit further away from getting there. But how about Baltimore? How about the Orioles? That's a fun team.
Yeah.
They're in a division with the Red Sox and Yankees. Heston probably can't be too far behind. And when he gets there and you throw in a Jackson Holiday soon, that could be a fun team to watch over the next few years.
Isn't it just funny, though? I mean, it's all optimism right now. Even my friends who are Pirates fans, they're excited for the start of the season. Even those who don't live in Pittsburgh, they're not going to go to games. They're just happy that this is about to start. But it's just, you know, like late March, early April, everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. Just wait 3 months, you know, and then you'll be counting down to the trade deadline.
Yeah, but you know, for Pirate fans who haven't had a lot to cheer about, there's a little sun coming up over the horizon with Skeens or Termar Johnson in a few years, so it's not as despondent as it has been in recent years. And you like to have a little bit of optimism, regardless of how you fear your team may turn out. But there's a little bit of hope there, and what we've seen in baseball. I mean, no longer are the Dodgers and the Yankees these automatic teams for the World Series. If you can just get in these expanded playoffs, you can get in with 85, 86 wins. You're hot at the right time. You can find your way to the World Series like the Diamondbacks did last year.
You want to give me reasons that the Cardinals can make it then? Cardinals fans are up in arms. You got the D-backs signing Jordan Montgomery to 2 years. Cardinals probably could have used another starting pitcher, a guy that pitched for them previously. But I don't think Cardinals fans are expecting all that much this year.
You're probably right. I mean, they've had a couple of decent players kind of come up through the ranks, like a Mason Wynn and Walker and others, but it doesn't seem like they've had this avalanche of talent coming behind it. It's one of those teams you feel like should be able to spend money with what they do from a television standpoint and attendance-generating number. But, they're probably not quite as optimistic as they have been in years past. I mean, they might be relevant, but I don't know if I would wager any long-term money on their success this year.
Let's see. We can leave it there, Brett. Who are you watching? Who is it that's playing? Which one of your kids?
I got my son today, so I'm going to try and see 3 games in 2 days. We've got the UT Dallas Comets against the Concordia something or others. I think they're the Tornadoes. But, try and sneak in a couple of games, see if we can get some at-bats. I've got the iPad for my daughter's game later on tonight back in Houston, so I'll space it out as best I can.
The Something or Others is a real minor league team name nowadays, isn't it? Yeah,
it could be. Sure Great hat.
Brett, thanks, man. Enjoy the games.
All right, guys.
We'll talk next week. Yep. Brett Dolan on Halftime here. Yeah, the Something or Others. I mean, you got all kinds of weird team names out there. The Something or Others should definitely be one of them. Definitely be one of them. Springtime's here. Make Awake Bait and Tackle is getting you ready for your springtime fishing. They're at a new location now, 803 North 11th Street, right next to Witt's Marine. They'll help you spring into spring, stocking up on covert spinning baits, jackhammer chatterbait, Bobby Garland baby shad, plus Todd Huckabee rods. It's all for you crappie fishermen and catfish fishermen. Listen closely. They're carrying Whisker Seeker rods and reels at Make Awake. 803 North 11th Street, Fort Smith, right next door to Witt's Marine, 479-926-9320, or Make Awake Bait and Tackle's Facebook page. We'll open the McClarty Daniel hotline for you now at 877-377-6963 for the home stretch of halftime, and we are right back.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Hey, we're David and Greg Figueroa,
founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce.
Sometimes brand testimonials feel, well, unbelievable.
So we have a fresh take. Tasty-monials.
Comments from real people on the internet who love Melinda's balance of hot heat and fresh, flavorful ingredients.
At 2021 Do Work says, legendary. Nobody does it better.
What was that?
Sounds for fire emoji, touchdown emoji, and 100% emoji.
Okay. At Snack Food Mafia says, I love how they are a thicker hot sauce and not some watery junk.
Love it. At Mushroom writes, best hot sauce west of the Mississippi, also the best hot sauce east of the Mississippi.
Pro tip, that's the whole United States.
Finally, at IGP1 always says, smack so hard.
We love to hear that as much as the FCC.
Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's Hot Sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring is just around the corner, and Jelco Outdoors is ready with all of your spring fishing gear. Crappie, bass, catfish, Jelco has a great selection of rods, reels, and baits to help you fill that stringer. Spring turkey supplies are rolling in daily, and the firearms department is stocked up with ammo for outdoor shooting. Spring is almost here, so get outdoors and enjoy the spring season. Stop by Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, for all your outdoor gear. Think spring, think Jelco Outdoors.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Tommy Kraft here for the Fitz Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from the Fitz Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, the Fitz Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call the Fitz Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitz Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call your local Shelter agent, Chris Dooley, at 479-646-6792.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hey, it's Zach from the Ruskin and Zach Show. Join us this Friday, March the 29th at Mock Legal Solutions grand reopening. Drop by this Friday to check out their new office space. Same location, just more room to serve you in more practice areas. We're going to be there live 2 to 6 that day, broadcasting from Mock Legal's newly renovated meeting room, the Johnny Davis Memorial Conference Room. Mark your calendars. This Friday, March 29th, Mock Legal Solutions grand reopening, 3401 South 79th Street in Fort Smith. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Diamond blue, baby, New York City. Never was ever a girl so pretty. Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love? Diamond blue, baby, New York City. You may get it now, love down and pretty. Do you think we'll be in love forever? Do you think we'll be in love? Baby, put on heart-shaped sunglasses, 'cause we're gonna take a ride. I'm not gonna listen to what the past says. I've been waking up all night. Take another drag, turn me to ashes. Ready for another life. Says it's gonna teach me just what past is. Say it's gonna be alright.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, I see that the Chiefs are apparently signing, I don't know if I'll say his name correctly, Louis Rees-Zammit, who is a European rugby star. I think we talked about
maybe
this.
for kick returns?
Yeah, well, they say the story on ESPN says that he will be looked at running back and perhaps wide receiver, and then potentially as a return specialist under the new kickoff format.
I could see that. That's the first thing I thought of was being a return specialist, and what it does is it opens up a job again for somebody. There's a way to have value to your team, being able to return kicks. Cordell Patterson going to Pittsburgh, that's a great move, but you're going to see another couple guys kind of pop up like that, and it's usually a role reserved for, the third string nickelback. That he can help on defense, but he's a return specialist, or the third down running back who doesn't play all the snaps, but like Pacheco, I think would be great at it. Yeah,
sure. 4.43 in the 40.
That's it. You got to be 4.4 or lower if you're going to return kicks. You can't be 4.6. You got to be explosive. And the thing when you have these 8 guys out here that are blocking and you're making this zone, if you don't layer it and it's just straight across, all it takes is one crease, and that's why you don't blitz. That's why you get in this gap 8 defense, and people hit you right in the gut. And so that's the same concept that you're doing. If you don't layer it, and you come up there and you have a guy with speed, that could be a big play.
Callers, check in with us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. And Jim is on the McClarty Daniel hotline now in Yellville. Hey, Jim, thanks for the call. What's going on?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Great, thank you.
All right. Well, I was kind of hoping I'd catch Clay, but I guess he's already gone.
Well,
you can catch him every Wednesday.
Get him
he'll be back Wednesday.
Get him on the phone here. I mean, we have these text messages. We could
I
relay
know,
it. Might take a while.
I'm telling you, I have a lot of people. They're like, you and Phil. I don't know, but when Clay's on, they like listening to Clay.
Maybe we can take the question, put it in the bank, and ask him on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to applaud him. I listen to Hit That Line every morning on my way to work, and I love all those guys. But I kind of had a little bit of an issue with Ty, with the thing with Musk going somewhere.
Oh, you're the one. You're the one, huh? You're the one.
No, I don't think I'm the only one. But, it just felt to me, it seemed to me like Ty was just dead set on getting Musk out of here, no matter how many times people would tell him there's no evidence. Yeah, but what if? And, well, what if donkeys had wings? Could they fly? But it just,
It might be a little difficult. It really might be. They're not built to fly. They don't have the hollow bones. Look, I would say about Ty. I just think he was trying to reflect the paranoia that he saw on message boards and on social media. And look, I mean, you hear it a lot. Twitter is not real life. Message boards are not real life. But you can get lost inside those things and almost convince yourself that something that you see there could legitimately happen. But I didn't believe those things because I just didn't believe that there was a job that was any better with all of the things. I mean, everything about it: the league, the facilities, the fan base, the money that he's making, NIL opportunities for their players. All those things together. I don't think there was a job that was open that was any better than the one he has right now. And I think Ty knows that too. But I also think there was just I just think he was just mirroring paranoia from message boards.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but it just seemed to me like, Clay was trying to talk to him about, the process of reporting, like Clay told him, you go to the source where it's supposed to be. And if there's nobody there says anything is going on, then there's nothing going on. And then that's what you report. But I don't know. I just felt like Ty, and I got nothing against Ty. I really enjoy the show, and I enjoy all of them. But I just kind of felt like Ty was just, it seemed like he was trying to make something happen that wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he was trying to chase Musk off. I just think he was paranoid about it. That's the only way I can put it.
Well, in the process, he was making everybody in Arkansas paranoid about it.
Yeah, I get it. It's like the more you hear something, the more you believe that maybe that's about to happen. I get it. And Jim, I think you're reflecting. We saw a lot of texts about that on the text line yesterday too. It was like J school. It was like introduction to journalism in a sense.
Yeah. And one more thing, if I can, I wanted to ask Matt a question. I remember watching you play football, Matt, and especially the what was it, 12 overtimes in Mississippi at Ole Miss. And dude, you have got to be the most deceptively fast individual I've ever seen in my life. To watch you run, it looks like you're just loping, but it was obvious that you just outrun everybody, and it just amazed me at the speed that you had for someone who was so tall. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed watching you play football, Matt, and I miss you playing football, but I listen to you every day on the radio, and I wish you all the best. I enjoy your show, and thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. And Phil, if you, I grew up on the street name when I grew up in Van Buren was Ambulon Way. So there you go. Just amble on.
Just keep ambling on.
Yep.
1 foot in front of the other. It's just some of us do that a little quicker than most. Matt's quick. He's still quicker than you expect now. Guy can get out of a room before you even realize.
Hey,
it's
the
like
Irish
you blink
goodbye,
and he's gone.
right? Yeah, it's the what's John Turturro in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah.
He's like, I underestimate your sneakiness. Yeah,
That's a skill. Like you can't that you're not just born with the ability to say to leave without saying goodbye and nobody notices. That's something that you have to work on. And you do it very well. But stick around at least for another 19 minutes or so as we wrap up the show here. That was that. Now, I didn't listen to the segment. I wasn't listening to the morning rush yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
didn't listen to it either.
But I heard about it. I heard about it on the text line and then from Jim too.
Well,
look, another thing that radio hosts are trying to do, and I'm gonna look at this from Ty's perspective, is that whether it's a positive response or a negative response, you're just trying to get a response. That's all. That's also an aspect of this. It is not Ty's job to calm a fan base down about whether a coach is going to leave or not. It's also not his job to make you more nervous about it. What his job is to make sure he does his live reads when he's supposed to do them. That's first and foremost. Don't say the 7 words you can't say on the radio when you're on the radio. That's second. Come up with something that you think could be entertaining and get a response from people. Get them to listen. You know, Ruskin and Zach are the same way. They don't care if you like them or not. They really don't. You know that already. So I also think Ty was trying to get a response, and he did. So good for him.
Well, Eric Musselman is Lane Kiffin, you know, and like you said, he might be a little older. I need to check up and see.
Well, this is the same. This is another way to
every year that's a little
right.
down year. Everybody's going to be like, well, he might be going off. And,
Heck, even after the good years for Ole Miss football now.
There's always going to be talk. Eric Musselman's not going to be looking for a job very long if he is.
But I think part of it is also the idea that somebody is a job hopper. But that's also just what coaches do. I don't think Muss is a job hopper. He wasn't going to stay at Nevada forever. You know, that just wasn't going to happen. Arkansas is a place that you can stay for a long time if you maintain a level of success. That level of success was happening up until this year. So I really do think whether or not Muss is going to be the head coach at Arkansas has everything to do with the record for the Razorbacks and not much else. But his name will still get thrown out there.
He's a competitor. He wants to win. I think there is some, I believe he's the right guy for the job. Is what I'm saying. I think he can take us to a Final Four. I think he can be the guy that assembles the team. He was one of the first that was doing the portal and was doing it well. And he's a great evaluator of talent. Last year was definitely the anomaly. I think he's going to get in there and get some of the right guys. And they'll be better next year.
Woods texted in. He picked up on something that Gary had said. Did you notice? He said 12 overtimes in the Mississippi game.
It felt like 12 overtimes.
I'll bet it did. Right. I'll bet it did.
Well, you had a 6 at Tennessee. You had a 7 at Kentucky, a 7 at Ole Miss, and a 2 at Alabama. So those were all the totals. That's 22 overtime periods.
Longest baseball game I've ever been a part of was 20 innings in a Texas League Championship Series game. So what is that? That's 11 extra innings. That's more than 2 full baseball games
for that. Yeah.
I know. And it was a championship series game too. So it's not like you're going to have the position players out there pitching.
Would you have you at Arkansas? Has there been a position player pitch? Have you seen it?
Have I seen?
Yeah.
I don't think I have. No.
Okay.
No.
It's not as much in college baseball. It doesn't happen as much as it does.
Well,
in
you
the
get more
pros.
two-way guys.
Yeah.
You don't have any two-way players at Arkansas. LSU has a couple, but I don't think they pitch. They really want you to try to focus on one thing. But you'll see some guys in this league this year. I mean, you get Florida's got a two-way player, Jack Caglianone, the first baseman, the left-handed pitcher, and then Braden Montgomery for A&M. I'm not sure how much pitching Montgomery's doing. He's their center fielder after transferring in from Stanford. But yeah, I did hear 12. I wasn't sure if he was trying to add together the Tennessee and the Mississippi games. Those overtimes together would have been 13 then. So he shorted you one. He shorted you one full overtime period. All right, we got a break, and I want to remind you about your favorite lure made by Pradco right here in Fort Smith is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. They make it in Fort Smith by the millions. It's without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the United States. Fish it on a lake jig head or underneath the float, you're going to find it's productive as live bait. And find the Bobby Garland Baby Shad at learnet.com and tackle stores everywhere. And stay with us. We'll wrap halftime up in just a moment.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The tournament is here. BetOnline is your bracket headquarters for this season with the best bracket contests out there and odds, lines, and info on every game and every round right up to the national championship. You can access the most up-to-the-minute wagering information anytime from your desktop or your mobile device and even track your bracket real-time all the way through the tournament. Head to BetOnline today and get in on all the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor A from Woodland. Read about it.
This sky it opened, I saw the light. There was a window from where to see. We all sat waiting patiently. The rays of light to the endless night. What a sight. I met the greatest grandpa. His eyes were dark, his legs were tall. He motioned to me to step right in.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Remember the words, sharp smiles. If you need to brighten your smile, if you suffer from broken teeth, crooked teeth, got braces, crowns, need dental implants, Sharp Smiles can help with all of your dental needs, general dentistry for routine checkups, teeth cleaning, x-rays, and more. Sharp Smiles is newly located in Vienna Hills on Market Trace across from Harps. Sharp Smiles, modern dentistry and implants, 479-648-9988 and sharpsmilesdd.com. All right, Matt, I got to make my my bracket picks for the Sweet 16 on hitthatline.com. Make sure you get these picks in. If you've already put in your picks for the round of 64, well, we do it all over again at the Sweet 16 and then all over again at the Final Four. We got prizes for winners of each level of the bracket, also for the overall bracket. There are winners, and I need a little help with these picks here. UConn and San Diego State. I can't go with anybody but UConn, right?
The Huskies.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Huskies instead of the Aztecs. Illinois and Iowa State. I don't know. I would take Iowa State, I think, over Illinois in this case. North Carolina, Alabama. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels, Clemson, and Arizona. Give me the Wildcats. All right, on the other side, Creighton and Tennessee. I'll take Tennessee. Purdue and Gonzaga. You're telling me to take Gonzaga, right?
I'm betting against Purdue. I'm shorting Purdue stock. That's exactly right. I'm going whoever Purdue plays from here on out. I think they're one bad half away from being gone from this tournament.
I'm still going to take the Boilermakers for this one. North Carolina State and Marquette. I think your boy's run comes to an end.
Tyler, that point guard Marquette has, he's got back. We were talking with Brett about players that we like watching play. I like watching his game, man. If you haven't watched him, or if you're a high school kid and you want to watch how to play point guard, watch him play the game.
Houston and Duke. I'm going to go with Houston. And then I guess I'm supposed to pick winners for all of the games after that, too. I'll just do it kind of very quickly. I'll say Tennessee beats Purdue. I'll say North Carolina beats Arizona. UConn's going to win the whole thing anyway. So UConn over North Carolina, Tennessee over Houston. And final score of the national championship game will be UConn 86, Tennessee 80. How does that sound?
8-6, 8-0. I was going to say 8-7, 78. So it's pretty close. I think UConn, man, they're tough. If Tennessee's going to win that game, if it's a real life thing that happens, they're going to have to keep them under 80 points for Tennessee to have a chance.
I almost did an 8-6, 7-5, 309. I could have done that with this final score. That could have been fun too. All right, baseball today. Now, I have to admit, as I spoke to the Fort Smith Razorback Club, I might have gotten the game time wrong when I was speaking to them earlier, and they told me the right time for first pitch. This cracks me up. I go by my Google Calendar. The Google Calendar has not updated for some of these games. So it is a 6 o'clock first pitch tonight. My Google Calendar has that as a 6:30 first pitch. Here's another, for instance. Next weekend, the Ole Miss series starts Thursday. My Google Calendar says the series starts Friday. Somebody get with Sergey Brin or whomever else is running Google now and get the calendar going here, man. We got people that are running their lives off that thing. 6 o'clock first pitch tonight, thrown by Hagen Smith. 5:30 for the Dugout Show with me and Bubba. And got fireworks, got the mini flag giveaway, and I think it'll be a really quick ball game, truthfully. I just think Hagen Smith, I expect to see the same Hagen Smith we've been seeing. But here's a matchup that'll just be so much fun to watch. Hagen Smith versus Tommy White. White's I think he's the top hitter for LSU, one of the best power hitters in the country. He drove in over 100 runs last year. He already has over 50 homers. That's going to be a big league matchup. and it's going to happen at Baum Walker later today.
Well, thanks to everybody at Hardscrabble for having us out here, man. This was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was fun. It was a lot of fun. And thanks to the folks at the Fort Smith Razorback Club for having us out and having me speak to them. And thanks to our guests, Clay Henry, Brett Dolan, Bob Holt. And if you missed any of that, it'll be downloadable on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Ruskin and Zach are standing by right at the top of the hour. For Matt, for the C Unit, I'm Phil. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll talk to you later tonight for baseball, and that's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.
Win a brand new pair of jet skis from Harry Robinson. Saddles on Ford. All you got to do